Looking at the input to the power supply here, it looks like the active is going to the earth switch, the ground lift switch, which has not been used at all, just been used as a landing point. But it's then connected to the ring of the fuse, and the tip of the fuse goes to the power switch. So that's back to front. And it's a double throw switch, which is cool. So it's going back to the neutral and the power transformer. So that's all got to be undone and redone to code. Also, the voltage selector is all connected up. This should probably be hardwired to 240 for safety. The bias supply in there has got all its original diodes and the original dropping resistor, and it looks like the original filter, so all that's got to go. We've got sort of a hum balance fixed bias supply. I will rewire that as a conventional adjustable fixed bias, so that 100k resistor will go, as will that one, be replaced with a couple of normal load resistors, etc, etc. Looking at the output valve sockets, we've got an original screen grid resistor on this valve. This one's been replaced. This old original one looks pretty baked. So do the grid resistors on both. And we've got these little snubbing capacitors going from the grid to ground. All those should be replaced. There's a few little nicks and burns on the heater wiring. They're probably factory, or maybe they were done by the last person who was in here. Nothing serious, but yeah, there is some marking and burning. Also got the original cathode resistor bypass capacitors all the way through. So all these white electrolytics have got to be replaced. Also these 100k load resistors, I'm going to replace all of those because at least one of them, this one here, has shat the bed. You can see it's spewed black shit from inside it. It has had a hard time, so I'm going to replace the lot. See down here, these are the last two coupling capacitors for the output valves. You can see the board is all shiny. It's obviously had some heat on it. Also we've got high voltage here and the bias voltage there and heat applied there. And there's the possibility the board is starting to conduct, which would be a bad thing. So this is going to get a serious wash. All right, let's unpack the horror. Yep, okay, so these filters have totally burst an onion. And you can see that's some serious cleanup required. A total recap. And you can see even on the ones that haven't actually burst their guts everywhere. 30 seconds away from doing so. Yep, these are the original Mallory's. They're done. Bye-bye. So those are the works to be conducted. On the cabinet, I'm going to fix the Tolex and clean up the hardware with some penetrating oil and try to stop the rust. On the bias supply, I'm going to replace all the diodes, replace the filter capacitor, replace the dropping resistor, install a conventional fixed bias and clean the boards that it's sitting on. On the main circuit board, we're going to replace all the cathode bypass caps, going to replace all the 100k anode load resistors, and we'll clean that board up in key locations. On the power supply, I'm going to replace the power cord itself and reinstall it to code with a new dedicated safety earth. We'll replace all the filter capacitors and we'll replace all the dropping resistors and balance resistors in the doghouse with modern metal oxide high performance precision resistors. And on the output valve sockets, we'll replace the grid and screen resistors with newies. We'll remove those little snubbing capacitors to ground that are on the grids, and we'll install flyback protection diodes. And that should do it. Apart from that, it's just a bit of cleanup of the chassis to remove that white powdery oxide.